Hey everybody, Ryan here from Ryan Hockey Channel. I know it's been a little while. I'm sorry I had a few false alarms with my twins that are due soon, so kind of had a hard time making videos of late. And also it takes a bit longer to make these than the other ones for some reason. Don't know why, but it does. But anyways, I'm going to get started with my... Sorry, my cat is in front of the screen. There we go. I'm going to get started with my 32 team now. Season preview. So I'm gonna start with the Anaheim Ducks, my favorite team personally, but I'm gonna be unbiased with this one and also overly critical with this one, so get ready for that. If you're a Ducks fan, you're probably gonna be sad at my overcritical nature towards my own favorite team. Alright, let's get started. Alright, this is who they added this year. Brogan Rafferty, 1 year, $750,000. Greg Pattern, 1 year, $750,000. Danny O'Regan, a 2 year, $750,000. And Buddy Robinson, 1 year, $750,000. Yeah. I mean, I can see maybe Pattern, maybe Rafferty with injuries on the defense, which seems common with this team of late. Thank you, Kat. And Buddy Robinson, I can see plugging in. Big body, checker. They need that, honestly. This team, I honestly believe, is missing checkers, and I think that's why they went with who they did in the first round of the draft this year, but we'll get into that. Alright, so traction-wise, now my cat's talking. Oh my god, why are you all swarming around me right now? Okay, go. Go. Thank you. Alright, subtractions. We had Chase DeLeo, minor league forward for them. He's pitched in a few games here and there. Went to New Jersey. Andrew Agozzino, same thing, to Ottawa. Andy Walensky, honestly, he looks good whenever he plays for him. He just doesn't get much time because he doesn't provide anything offensively. But he's a decent defender, good depth defender. Went to Calgary. Dan Heinen went to Pittsburgh. Andrew Poturalski. Sorry, I always mess up his name. To Carolina, and Carter Rowney to Detroit. Rowney's going to be one that hurts. In Detroit, you're going to like him. He's a good, solid third, fourth line player, and as long as his knee comes back from his injury last year, then he should be a solid addition to their bottom six. This is who they re-signed. They re-signed Ryan Getzlaf to a 1 year, $4.5 million contract, which is better than his $8.5 million last year, I think it was. So, definitely much more affordable, but still not sure he's playing at $4.5 million rate, but hey, you know what, a pay cut's a pay cut. Alexander Volkov didn't look too bad. Kind of expected a little bit more offensively from him, but he had stretches where he had some offense that was really good, but other stretches where it was like, did he exist out there? Was he playing? But he signed a 1 year, $925,000 contract. Sam Carrick, honestly, I think they need to give this guy a chance because he's looked good the last couple of years in the games he's played. 1 year, $750,000. Vinny Lettieri, 1 year, $750,000. He pitched in some games last year. Sam Carrick's brother, Trevor Carrick, 1 year, $750,000. Josh Mahura, 2 years, $750,000. It is basically at this point, Mahura needs to make it now, or it's just not going to happen because he is being pushed down that line more and more because he's just not making that leap yet. I mean, he comes up, he has offensive games where he looks really good offensively, but his defense is like, what are you doing? Why are you doing the things you're doing defensively? So he just needs to figure that out, and he needs to figure out pretty quick. Max Comtois, their top point getter from last season, 2 years, $2,037,500 per season. Good, solid bridge contract, I think. I think he'll get more next time around if he keeps developing the way he does. Max Jones re-signed, 3 years, $1.295 million per season. I think that's pretty decent for what he can provide. I mean, his offense is not developed in the way I think quite a few people expected. But still big body out there. Likes to irritate people every once in a while. Could do that more consistently. Would be nice. What are you doing now, Cat? What are you doing? Alright, this is their salary cap for next season. Right now they got a projected cap space of $14 million, so we'll get to predictions later, but I'm going to predict they're going to fill that cap space up pretty quick with unwanted contracts. Alright, forward-wise, this is who they got. They have Henrique is the biggest moneymaker now at $5.825 million on that forward forward line that he's been playing third line at best of late. Hopefully that fixes itself. Hopefully he has a better season. I really do. I like Adam Henrique. I mean, he's only 31. He's in his prime. He should do better than he has the last couple of years. Same with Silverberg. Only 30. 5.25 million. And those two guys will probably end up getting moved out, just like Raquel. Well, Raquel is definitely going to be moved out there this year. I could see Getzlaf possibly being traded, but I don't know. Why do they have it marked at 3 million? Huh. Anyways, once again, this stuff is the stuff you're seeing on the screen here. That is all from Cap Friendly. Very good site. Go check it out. Very informative. Maxime Comtois is the next highest, 2 million. Then Sonny Milano, who, yeah, I know missed almost all last season with injury, but hopefully he can come back and do something. Derek Grant, Troy Terry, Max Jones, Delorier, Volkov, Sam Steele, and Isaac Lundestrom, and for some reason Buddy Robinson. I'm kind of surprised they had him listed in the main roster, but he is as of now. Alright, on the defensive side, you have Fowler, Lindholm, Manson, Shattenkirk, and Larson. The expected ones. I mean, you're probably going to see Drysdale as the 6th at this point. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Jakob Larson ends up being a 7th defender, because he just has not developed the way they expected. Could he still? Maybe something, but he's not going to be that second pairing defender I think they had hoped for. Goalie wise, of course, John Gibson. They got him under contract for some time. Oh, I forgot to mention, Cam Fowler's definitely the longest one. You may see Lindholm and Josh Manson getting traded this year. That is a definite possibility. Being UFAs, gosh dang Cap. And this year, it looks like Anthony Stolarz is going to be the backup. I mean, barring a massively good camp from Lucas Dostal, I don't see anybody but Stolarz. Stolarz actually looked pretty good in the games he played last season, so I wouldn't be surprised. They still technically have Ryan Kessler on the team for one more season at a $6.875 million contract. I thought it was terrible when they signed it, even though he wasn't hurt then. But I figured that won't hurt at the back end, and it just is. But luckily, it gives them some extra cap space. Thank you, buddy. And dead cap space, they have Corey Perry at $2 million for the next 2 years, and Simone Dupre, they are not paying anything for his buyout for the next 4 seasons. All right, this is the non-roster forwards. You got Trevor Zegras, who's probably going to be playing this year. I would not be surprised to see Mason McTavish possibly get a few games in. I know that may be a jump for him. I don't think he's quite ready for it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him get that 9 games or 11 games, whatever it is, test, and then send him back to junior. I would not be surprised. It also depends on if they have a junior season. So he may end up in the AHL. Jacob Perreault, I can see the same thing. Sasha Pastuyov, I can see possibly at least getting a long look in the camp, but I'm not sure he's going to be ready. Braden Tracy did not show the development I think they expected last year when he played in the AHL. It was like turned 12 games and he had no points. And he just looked way out of his league at that point. So hopefully sending him to the juniors this year, hopefully that might help him get that confidence back, but we'll see. Benoit Oliver Gruel, he looked pretty good over the AHL season. I wouldn't be surprised if him or Jack Bandini get a chance at some point with injury. And then you can see the rest of them there. On the defensive side, Jamie Drysdale, I have no doubt he's going to be on the opening lineup. Simone Benoit, he looked really good in the end of the season when he played for them. He's not going to wow you offensively. He's not that type of defender. He is a stay-at-home defender, and he's a big-body defender. So I can see him filling in. Same thing with Hunter Drew, same type of thing. Axel Anderson might even get a few games in this year. Brendan Gooley, I don't think is going to become what they had hoped when they traded for him, but he'll get some games, I'm sure. And then Lucas Dostal, if there's an injury in the goaltender, which we know John Gibson will be hurt at some point. That's just Gibson. So I think Lucas Dostal is going to get a shot at some point this season. And if he plays like he has the last couple years, he's going to be a solid goalie. If he plays that way. And he had a solid year in the AHL last year, so I would not be surprised if he starts out really well again and gets a chance. Alright, this is how their 2021 draft went. They had Mason McTavish as their first round pick. Kind of a surprise. There were a lot of really good players they skipped over for this, so Well, to see if he develops into what they want him to be. I think they want a second line center. They expect Zagreus to be the first. So getting that second line center is not a bad idea. Now, did they go with the best player available? That is yet to be determined, but you know what? If it's what they want, a big body center, I think that's what they got. Then, of course, Olen Zellweger at 34, Sasha Pastuyev, I forgot to write his position, evidently, at 66. He dropped a bit, so that was a good pickup. And then the rest of the players you can see there, I'm not sure what they're going to develop into, if anything. We'll see. Only time will tell with that sort of thing. Alright, future. Oh, I forgot to mention those first three there, Pastuyev, Zellweger, and McTavish. They have already signed to entry-level contracts, 3 years. So we'll see. And Zellweger looked really good in the World Juniors last year, and really good at the Nationals? No, World Championships. I think he played on. Yeah, he looked pretty good either way for Team Canada there. Cat, stop laying down on my memory card. Alright, future draft picks. They have their first, second, fourth, fifth, and that is all their own draft picks they had this year. They also had Toronto's fifth and Nashville's sixth this year. So they have no third and no seventh round picks this year. As you can see in the next couple years, no seventh round pick next year, but they have all their own for the others. So I think they may end up with more picks because they're going to try and move some of these contracts, especially the veteran guys like Raquel will probably get you something pretty. I know Josh Manson already nixed the trade to Winnipeg, which I haven't seen what the possible return was for that, but that could be good, but it could also be bad if they let Cole Perfetti go. If he screwed us out of Cole Perfetti, I'm going to be mad. Because I'm still mad they didn't draft him. Anyways. Alright, this is the depth charts this year. You can see first line, it looks like they're listing Getzlaf still. I really don't think Getzlaf's going to be playing first line minutes for them this year. I really don't. I think it's going to be that Zagreus, Comtois, and Terry line. And I don't know why they have Maxime Comtois as number 44. But maybe you changed the number, I missed it. I don't know. But I can see that being the first line instead, especially if Zagreus really starts off really well. I mean, 13 points, 24 games last year. And he's still technically a rookie. So possible Rookie of the Year award possibility there. I can see Getzlaf playing more of the third line at this point, but we'll see. Sam Steele needs to fix his game. Had a lot of expectations last year, and he did not meet them. I think the management was not happy with him. I mean, 12 points in 42 games. Gotta do better than that, my friend. Then they have Adam Henrique as the fourth line center. Ugh. We'll see about that. Centers may be off, but the rest of them I can see. Alright, defensively, they got Lindholm and Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk did not live up to expectations last year, but neither did Lindholm, but he was hurt most of the year. Manson was hurt most of the year from 2 different injuries. Fowler, 56 games. I believe that's all the games they played last year. 23 points. -4. Considering how bad this team was offensively, and they were not great defensively, -4 is not that bad. Really not, because look at Getzlaf and Raquel. They're -14 last year. Jamie Drysdale was -12 in 24 games, but at least he was a rookie and an 18-year-old one at that. I can understand that more. But he had 8 points in 24 games, and honestly, he looked really comfortable and really good out there. So I would not be surprised if Jamie Drysdale is playing on that first pair instead of Shattenkirk, who honestly is a defensive liability and should only play on the power play. And even then, that's risky too. I mean, like I've already talked about the goalies. Gibson, not a great year for him last year. It just was not. But I mean, it was the same thing last year's year before. It's just when things went bad, he just stopped trying. You could see it on his face, in his play. He just stopped trying. I don't blame him, because most of the team just stopped trying when things would go bad. They'd allow a goal and another one would go in, and you just see the life leave them. And they just can't do that. Especially these young guys now, who are now starting to get into that mid-20s range almost. They need to figure this out, and they need to get it done. Alright, scratches. They have Milano, Carrick, and Mahura scratches. Okay, I can see any of those filling in spots, that's for sure. They have Silverberg list on the injury list. I didn't see anything about injuries there. Hopefully he's alright. Alright, here's the minors list. You can go over that all you want. Jacob Perreault, Benoit Alvar, Gruel, Jack Bandini, definitely good players. Letary and Robinson can fill in if they have to. Brayden Tracy, hopefully he has a better year. I really do hope so, because I have higher expectations for him. I think most of the Ducks staff do too, and the fans do too. But hopefully he can get this figured out, get it better than last year. Alright, then on the defensive side, Simone Benoit is definitely going to play some games. He was 6 games last year, -3 in 17 minutes and 11 seconds of average time. Playing that much, and he was a rookie. Those were his first 6 games. So you can already tell that guy, I think they hope for him to be a minute muncher, because he probably could be, being a stay-home defender. We'll see if that works out. Alright, let's see. Who else? Lucas Dostal. I think he's going to get a few games this year. He's not going to be playing the whole season, but he's going to get a few games. Alright, on the prospect side, Mason McTavish, like I said, he's already signed. I think he may get a few games in. Sam Colangelo still in the college ranks. Sasha Pastuyev, he may play. I don't know. I mean, he's American. I'm not sure if he is junior eligible, in which case he may be playing in the AHL at most. Maybe. I'm not sure. He says he's American, so we'll see. Sometimes Americans play in the juniors, sometimes they don't. It just depends. And let's see. Olin Zellweger. That'll be interesting to see. And I'm interested to see Jackson Lacombe when he makes it. He's still playing in college, so he's unsigned. Not there yet. So we'll see with him. Same thing with... Oh, no. Wait. Henry Thrun, is he still playing college? He played in USHL last season, but Henry Thrun had a good season the year before and kind of got thrown off this last season. So hopefully he can get back in there and get some games in the college level and get ready. All right, here's the top prospects. Trevor Zegras, of course, is number 1. That's not surprising at all. Jamie Drysdale, number 2. Zegras had 21 points in 17 AHL games. Looked very solid down in the AHL. 13 points in 24 games. He looked solid in the AHL. Nervous, of course. I mean, it was his first game. He's a rookie. He needs to put on a little bit more muscle, and he could be definitely a guy who could control that puck and just hold on to it. Be like a Thornton, not as big, but definitely a Thornton, and definitely a Thornton-style passing. That's for sure. If he could put on some more muscle, he definitely could be that number 1 center who could just throw the puck anywhere and make anybody a better scorer. Like Thornton with Jonathan Chichu. Perfect example. Jamie Drysdale definitely looks solid. Like I said, shaky at times. I mean, he definitely was an 18-year-old playing in a man's sport, so he definitely had his moments. He definitely has the confidence. You could tell that, but he needs to put on the muscle a bit more. And he will be there. I mean, the points-wise, 8 points, 24 games. Solid start for a young 18-year-old. Not terrible. Could be better. But still, I think he'll be pretty solid this year. He also had 10 points in 14 AHL games. Mason McTavish had 11 points in 13 Swiss League games last year, and 11 points in 7 under-18 games with Team Canada, where he played with another prospect for the Ducks, Olin Zellweger. Lucas Dostal was 15-9 in his 24 AHL games. Pretty solid numbers considering his first North American season. He'd only played in, was it Liga? I think it was the Liga where he came from, the Finnish league. Jacob Perreault, 17 points in 27 AHL games. Once again, an 18-year-old kid playing in the AHL because of the, what was it? Was it WHL that he played in? Well, one of the junior leagues never came back, so that's the one he played in. So he played most, if not the whole AHL season. So, and he looked pretty solid at times. So, hopefully he develops, and who knows, we might see a few games out of him this year. Then other mentioned top prospects, Jackson Lacombe definitely has looked pretty solid, so I would look forward to him possibly playing at the end of the season if he signs. If not, maybe next year if he signs. Brayden Tracy, once again, just needs to get that confidence back, and I think he could be solid. I wouldn't say top line, but I'd say second line, maybe a bit of a stretch, but who knows. Olin Zellweger as well, definitely an offensive defender. Not the biggest guy in the world by any stretch. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", something like that. So he's going to have to use his speed and stick abilities over his physical abilities. He may have some checking ability. I mean, small guys don't necessarily, they can't, it's not that they can't hit, it's just that you worry more they're going to get hurt with the bigger guys hitting them, but you never know. Sam Colangelo also, and Sasha Pastuyev, who I think may be a sleeper one right there, Sasha. I mean, he fell in the draft, like I said, but they already signed him. So I think they're expecting a lot out of him to start. I'm not saying he's going to make the team this year, but he may play in a few games. Alright, season outlook. This team is probably going to be bad. I think they'll finish anywhere from 28th to 30th. I mean, they could finish as low as 32nd, but I think Arizona has fully tanked themselves enough to where I think that may be a stretch. But this team will be a bottom-feeding team, barring a magically good season from John Gibson and the rookies doing amazingly good and the young guys who aren't rookies anymore actually developing. So, and also holding off on the injuries. That would be helpful too. Gibson, Manson, Lindholm. Those are the big ones. But either way, I think this is going to be a bottom of the league team. Get a solid pick next year. I don't know if they're going to get that top pick. That'd be nice. Get that franchise player. But still, they're going to get a good pick one way or the other. They're going to get a solid player. So, nothing to be sad about there. Sad that they're not going to be a good team, but it's what you got to deal with. Alright, that's all I got for you for the Anaheim Ducks this year. I hope you enjoy this season preview. And if you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, disagree, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Alright, other than that, I'm going to try and do these every day. You're probably going to see the same shirt for the next 4 or 5 videos. Because I'm going to film them all on the same day, but I am going to release them separate days. So, it also gives me a chance to put any possible edits in there I need to do if someone signs or something like that in the next few days. We'll see. But, or if there's a major trade, because supposedly the Ducks are still involved in the Jack Eichel thing, but since he's now going to miss at least half the season, wait at this point. Don't make that trade, although helps bomb, I guess, the season, get a better pick next year, but doesn't exactly make him want to stay. So, don't see the point right now. Anyways, moving on. I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.